Welcome back to another episode of Excuse My Grandma. It's Kim and my co-host,
Grandma Gail.
and today we are joined by a very special guest, Bobbi Brown. I feel like she needs no introduction, but she wears so many hats: entrepreneur, let's get a hat out. Let's get a hat out. Founder.
Bad hair day. Sorry.
No, it looks great.
Yeah.
Founder of Bobbi Brown Cosmetics and Jones Road. I feel like she was a perfect guest for us to have today because she's such a household brand, and we really feel like
I've used her.
You've used her forever. Like now with Jones Road, I'm obsessed. I'm wearing everything today. So we're so happy to have you.
Oh, I'm so glad to be here.
We're thrilled.
Yeah, and I wanted to come in person and not just do it on Zoom.
So,
Yeah.
which we're so happy.
I know. I'm so over.
And the store is right down the block from where we live, so this couldn't be better for us. So, and I can get my under eye stuff quickly.
I haven't heard the end about the under eye stuff.
My favorite, the colors.
Yeah. So I want to start from the beginning. How did you first decide you wanted to go into the makeup industry?
Well, I didn't decide I wanted to go into the makeup industry, but I knew that I loved makeup. My mother said, "What do you love?" Because I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I loved makeup. She said, "Well, why don't you go to college and study makeup?" I said, "I'm not going to beauty school." She said, "I'm sure there's a college." And by the way, there wasn't the internet. I couldn't Google.
Right.
So luckily, a friend of my dad said, "Oh, you should go check out Emerson in Boston." And I flew up. There was a Magic Pan cafe outdoors. I had never seen an outdoor cafe being from Chicago. And I went to Emerson. That's exactly why I went.
That's a good story. That's
Yeah.
a good mom.
Yeah.
So, you know, she figured she did her homework.
She did.
Yeah. So do you recommend when kids and stuff are applying to schools, they look for programs that kind of offer like beauty sort of classes?
Or it depends what you want to do. I think
Yeah.
it's really important. You know, first of all, who knows? Like, no one really knows. But it's good to find something you're interested in, even when someone happens to be interested in numbers and math. It's like, okay, you could have a job in an accounting firm, or you could do the same thing working, you know, at a record company.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, you might as well go for the record company and not just sit there in a tax.
Right.
firm.
You have to do what your passion is,
Yeah.
I think what Bobbi is really
Yeah.
saying. And I agree with that. I mean, you always will give an example. You always had a passion for acting. You were an English major. There was nothing anybody was going to ever do with an English unless you were going to teach an
I
English
feel like
degree.
you pushed me to do that though. So why
I
are we
think-
now shitting on
because
it?
I really thought you were going to go to law school. And I know we were going to go be podcasting.
Yeah, you're
I mean,
right.
I didn't realize that. I thought I had one granddaughter who was really a student, and I thought she was going to be a lawyer. But you surprised me.
You would be surprised I hear this daily.
You
I
can
thought you were
still
going to
go
be a
back.
lawyer.
You could still go
Yeah.
back.
And is this your mother's mom?
Yeah.
Your
Grandma
mother's
Gail's my
mom.
mom's mom.
And so I was really close to my grandma,
Mm-hmm.
Nana. Now, it skips a generation. Are you, as I know, you might not want to answer me now. Are you
No.
as close to your mom as you are to your
I
grandma?
am. They're kind of, the three of us are like
Yeah.
equally best friends.
Okay.
So I am very lucky in
And
that
she's
regard.
not jealous? Like,
No, I always get that
Question
question.
a lot of people ask.
Yeah.
No, I think she loves it.
Yeah.
Yeah. She doesn't like want to be on camera and
doesn't.
involved.
No.
And she doesn't want to produce or...
No, she doesn't
She
want
takes her videos sometimes.
Yeah, she
does.
sometimes does.
Yeah.
And does she tell you, like, does she give you critiques?
Yes.
Like, that was really good. Oh, that was terrible.
Well, when she
Your hair
tells-
was messy. Did she tell your hair was messy?
100%.
That's how I grew up with. I like messy hair.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy to see you with messy hair because I like it. And my mother
know, I
used
felt
to
the
always
same.
get mad at me.
Yeah.
I think
No,
she's-
you're always telling me to brush my hair.
Well, yeah, because it sticks up sometimes, and it's also her hair gets a little.
But it's like I'm not really trying.
It's the surfer look.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
She looks good in a ponytail,
Yeah.
by the way. So that happens to be a good look.
So what has it been like to create so many powerful companies in the industry, and then also like what struggles did you kind of have to go through, especially as a woman in business?
Well, first of all, nothing's easy.
Yeah.
I mean, I've also raised 3 sons. I have a 35-year marriage. I commuted from Montclair, New Jersey to the city. You know, I was the class mom. I didn't know how to type. So, you know, things were not easy. And I can't believe looking back that I did this, you know, which is so cool. And I can't believe that at 66 years old, I did it again.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know, it's
amazing.
like, it is. It's really cool and really fun.
Well, it's inspiring, I think, for those who are listening to this and looking at us, to know that a woman can do almost all of it. I've
Yeah.
always been a believer you can't really do it all. But
Right.
at certain times in your life, you can do different things
Right.
because you don't have as much responsibility with the children or with whatever. I never did anything until my granddaughter hooked me into this during COVID. And I must say, it's fabulous. You meet wonderful young people.
And don't you feel younger?
You feel younger, you're more alert. And I also think you're out there and you're understanding more of the world. You're not in a little
Right.
cocoon with
Yeah.
just your contemporaries,
Right.
which I think is so important.
Yeah.
Well, do you have hobbies?
Well, I used to play a lot of bridge.
You still
And I
do.
still, well,
I have to do
sneak it
podcast
in.
recordings around her bridge schedule.
Okay.
I mean, I always used to say to Kim, no Fridays. I
Yeah.
have to play
Yeah.
duplicate on
Okay.
Friday.
Yeah.
But I play less.
Okay.
I used to play 3 days a week.
Right.
Now I play 1 day because I'm working.
Right.
But I can only work till 4 o'clock.
Okay.
I have a downtime. I have
Yeah.
to go because then I have to be with my husband.
Well, you
I'm
don't have
married
to be.
60
You want,
years.
Yeah, you want to be.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right. Yes,
Exactly.
you want to be.
So I mean, I'm not young that I can just quickly do the next activity. I do need a little downtime. But I must say this is fun, and I would have loved to have worked like you did.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, I wanted to do something, and I came from, I'm several generations older than you.
Not much.
Well, I must say, my mother said, "Be happy.
Right.
You've got a family.
Right.
You don't need to look other, further than that." And I think the women today don't do that, and that's a good thing.
Well, I think that it's, especially with the internet and social media, you see everything. So there is
Correct.
possibilities. And a lot of people think they should do something. And I like to encourage people, okay, you should do that, but what do you want to do?
Right.
Because,
That's right. You
Yeah.
only have one time to
Yeah.
choose.
And sometimes you kind of lose sight of what you even want because of all the external factors and stuff. Like, I feel like I struggle with this a lot with anything. Like, I'm always asking your advice. I'm always asking everyone's advice. And I forget to say, like, wait, what is it that I actually want to do?
Right.
So I think it's good advice. And
Well, except that you actually did do what you want to do because you started out as a producer working for a news agency, and during COVID it closed
I'm less,
the offices.
I'm less indecisive with business.
right.
I'm very indecisive with, like,
with getting dressed.
dating and getting dressed and, like, every other.
Because you're so pretty.
Thank you. The problem is not.
Which is not what you need to have a successful relationship, but I would think that it shouldn't be such a problem.
Yeah.
I think it is a problem today for young people. I'm going to answer for her. I think it's too many choices. And we didn't have those kind of swiping business and going out with several different people. We went out with the person who was closest to us and we made it work. It became a relationship. Now they have so many choices and they see each other on the screen. And, I don't like the way he parts his hair. Or I don't like the way he's got his shirt going. That becomes an ick. I didn't know what an ick was. I thought it was a reptile when she told me it was an ick. But I think the choices are great.
Yeah, I
too
won't-
many.
I didn't meet my husband until I was 30 and a half.
Oh.
And I dated someone from 18 to 30.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Right? And we broke up when I was 30, and I said, all right, I'm going to be an old maid. Like, that's it.
Yeah. Did you break up because you were like, this isn't my person kind of thing?
No, because he cheated on me many times.
Yeah,
no
that's good
Yeah.
reason.
That's
yeah.
no
Yeah.
good.
And then when I met my husband, he decided he was ready to marry me.
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
How did you meet Steven?
Literally, a friend of mine called and said, you want to have dinner with my friend Steven? And she goes, I think you'll like him. And she goes, but I really like him. I'm like, all right, then why are you telling
Yeah.
me? And the three of us went out, and Steven and I were like, boy,
Love.
it was
wonderful.
instant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I was going to say, actually, to answer your question before Grandma Gail answered it for me. I'm definitely like single by choice. It's not like I can't get anyone. Like, actually the contrary, like Grandma sees this, like a lot of people have wanted to move forward.
Right.
I just haven't had that boing moment, and I don't really want to like settle for
Yeah.
anything less than that.
Well, that's not the only answer. So my nephew just got engaged. He's 37. His fiance is 37. There, he was waiting for the boing. He never got a boing, but he liked her.
Yeah.
And then
That's
it
what
took
I
time.
believe.
No, everyone's different. So
Right.
it's not just the boing.
Right.
You just don't know. You just have to be open.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. I'm going to try to take that into
Yeah.
consideration.
Yeah.
I know you've spoken about Steven also. You work together, you have a hotel together.
Right.
What's that balance between relationship time and time to talk about work and support each other in that way?
It slides. It seems like it's okay to talk about work when he wants to talk about it, but it seems like if I want to talk about it
Right.
off hours, it's like, why are we talking about this
Yeah.
now? So,
It's a balance.
It's a balance.
It's a
It's a
balance.
balance.
Yeah.
And I'm a little old-fashioned in my relationships, I mean, even though I'm a modern working woman, I was taught that my husband is the center and everything should go around him.
That's the way a good marriage is.
Yeah.
You could be the boss, but he doesn't have to know it.
Exactly. Exactly. And he doesn't listen to my podcast, so Charlotte, don't.
That's so funny. Do you have advice for people who are kind of in a similar situation? Both people work or work together. Like, what would you tell them?
Well, nothing's easy, first
Yeah.
of all. And, I've learned that sometimes it doesn't matter how right I feel or know I am. It's okay to say, I'm really sorry I upset you.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I'm sorry, or I say truce, because we're never going to get around to it.
Never
Yeah.
going to be perfect.
It's never going to be perfect. It's
Right.
like, okay, next, move on.
Now, I'm curious, how do you develop, I mean, I'm sure you have a tremendous team, but how do you develop the color of the season? Because so many times, I mean, I wear the same makeup all the time, the same colors. I'll sort of deviate with the rouge maybe a little bit, the blush, but is it the color of your, the tone of your skin? Are the new makeups, which are much purer than they used to be, do they change drastically from season to season? I know you keep a lot of your old colors because I'm still wearing them, but
Well,
how
I'm
do
not
you
involved
approach
in
that?
Bobbi Brown Cosmetics,
Right.
and whatever they've done over the past 6 years, I've had
I
nothing.
think I
to
have
do
yours
with.
from leftovers.
Probably. No, probably. So, I don't know what they do. I know what I do.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't believe in color of the season.
Okay.
I am someone that if it looks good on you, you wear it. If
Right.
it doesn't look good on you anymore, get something else. So I've never been one that
Okay.
believed in trends, and I don't think that, I don't want people to say, oh, what does Jones Road have new for spring? No, I want people to, think of Jones Road as what they need in their makeup bag.
Let's go back a little bit. What motivated you to actually start Jones Road and not just be like, okay, I'm done. I'm going to focus on other stuff.
Right. Well, I was done, and when I left Bobbi Brown Cosmetics, I had 4.5 years on a 25-year non-compete. So did I have to work? No. Did I have a hobby? No. Did I have anything I wanted to do? I couldn't imagine going in with my girlfriends and going to a matinee
Right.
and lunch. It's
not
that's
fulfilling.
just not who I am. I like to be around people.
You're a
I
working
like
person.
I like young people. I like
Right.
surrounding myself with young people. So I did a bunch of projects. I had a Just Bobby shop at Lord & Taylor because my friend owned Lord & Taylor. Like I tried different things. I had a wellness brand. I renovated a hotel with my husband, and then I just missed makeup and beauty, and I was able to kind of take a pause. I didn't use any Bobbi Brown after I left. I was done.
Right.
And I started using other people's, and I was like not happy. Either it was too makeup-y,
Right.
the traditional makeup, or the crunchy new clean makeup wasn't good enough. And I'm like, there's something else. So I just started playing around.
What does the name Jones Road mean?
Well, when trying to figure out a name, it's not easy. I couldn't use Bobbi Brown again. I couldn't even use Just Bobbi. I couldn't use
Yeah, it's your name, which is even harder.
which I don't own for makeup. So
Yeah.
that's fine. So I was driving to the Hamptons with my husband, and I was determined to launch Jones Road the day my non-compete was up, which was 2 weeks before the presidential election, in the middle of the pandemic, in the middle of social unrest, all of it. I didn't care. I didn't listen to anyone. I didn't care. But if I didn't have a name by Monday, I think it was Thursday or Friday, I wouldn't be able to do it. So my husband is like, I'm sorry. And he likes me to look down on Waze
Right.
and on Google Maps, because God forbid we're 5 minutes
You're
late,
stuck
even
in
though
traffic.
even though we have nowhere to go, by the way.
Exactly.
So, those kind of
Sounds
guys.
like Poppy.
Yeah. Right. So I looked down and I saw Jones Road. That second I looked down and I said, Jones Road
Wow.
Beauty. And my husband said, wow, I love that.
Okay.
And it was available. So
Yeah.
that was it.
That's
yeah,
great.
going on and checking the .com,
Yeah.
make sure you can get the domain,
Right.
all of the
Yeah.
things that come after that, but you have to feel it when you hear it.
And it reminded me of a UK bespoke brand, and I love the UK. I'm an Anglophile. And also, like, okay, in my head, I'm like, I can't use Brown. I'll use Jones.
Right.
So
So crazy.
So interesting.
Yeah.
How the name.
I know.
You know.
I love hearing those kind of stories. You mentioned clean beauty before. How does the brand kind of emphasize clean beauty?
Well, it's all clean
Yeah.
formulas, and you know,
What does clean mean? Explain.
Good
to me.
question.
there's 3,200 ingredients that are on the banned list. Yeah, well, you know, to be called clean.
Okay.
I take that list, I give it to the lab, and I say, don't use these things. End of story. And why? Creating a brand now, why would I not do a clean brand? I mean, I went back to school, got my degree as a health coach. I'm a health nut. I eat organic when I can, you know, not in restaurants. So why wouldn't I do a clean brand? And it was a challenge, and I like a challenge.
Okay.
So I'm not out there saying you can't use traditional things because of health reasons. No, I'm not that advocate. I just, you know, prefer clean things.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting because I always worry because I'm an older woman and I have to make sure that the sun I have to be protected
Right.
from the sun because I never sit in the sun
Right.
anymore. I
Yeah.
did. I loved it.
Right,
I
but-
worshipped it.
But then it's too late because I did
it's
too.
much too late, and
So
I've got
what?
all the spots to prove it.
I have spots taken off all the time.
Me too. So
Yeah.
I have to be very careful. So I
Sure.
do look at the makeups.
Right.
And if they have an SPF, they
Right.
have to have something
Yeah.
in it to protect
Right.
me.
Yeah.
Um,
I prefer separate SPF
Separate. You put
because if you put the makeup on, you're not putting enough to really cover.
Right. So you
and
have to put it
and
on
by the way,
first.
you have to do your neck. Like I get
Correct.
spots on the side of my
When
neck
we're
from driving.
Oh,
Right? You know.
And this
Things
side
you don't
of your-
think about.
Yeah.
This side of your face always, the side of the face that faces the outside window
Right.
always
Yeah.
gets
So I
more.
drive sometimes, or I'm a passenger, probably
Right,
more.
yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
you know,
Right.
I get the spots taken off,
Uh-huh.
and then I'm religious about
But
putting
it on
sunscreen
under
on.
the makeup.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I've been
So
doing here.
yeah, I mean, Jones Road will have something next year because once I've approved it, it's amazing, and it's I like it better than anything I've used.
Right.
You know, because it's not. Sometimes you put sunscreen on and
too
it's too heavy.
Right.
And then if you just want to take it off.
Well, I love the new store.
Oh, thank
and
you.
it's very considerate of you to open it down the block from where you live. I mean, how nice if that was you.
Yeah,
must-
well, Bobbi texted me and she was like, "How can I make this most convenient for you to come?"
Yeah.
I told her the ad. No, I'm kidding.
No, it's an adorable store on the corner.
Yeah, a friend of mine saw a sign that said for rent, and we did it took us a while, but
Yeah.
we didn't even see it. We rented it sight unseen because I love a corner
Yeah.
property.
Yeah,
Our
it's-
New York store is a corner, and you get light from both sides, which is so
Which
nice.
is really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is really nice.
East Hampton, I think it's a corner. Yeah.
You have one in East Hampton?
Yes, we
Where?
have East Hampton right on. You know where the Ralph
Hotel?
Lauren barn is?
Yeah.
Right there.
Oh.
Yeah, right
Okay.
there,
Oh,
near
that's somewhere.
Tuto. Yeah, near
Near
Tuto.
Tuto, okay.
Yeah, so we have Montclair, which our flagship.
Right.
My husband's the developer.
Okay.
He doubled the space because we were doing so well. We have East Hampton, now Palm Beach, Chicago's opening next.
Great.
And we just signed we're close to signing a lease in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, that'll be
Close
very,
to
that's
the
fun
place.
for all the young people.
Yeah, and I could sleep at my
Yours-
my
yours-
baby's apartment. He's got an extra bedroom.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
We talk a lot about age inclusivity with makeup and all types of products. Is there a certain product you'd recommend from Jones Road for people 50 plus, or is it kind of like everyone can mix and match?
I'm someone, I don't see age. I don't see color. I don't see age. I mean, I make sure I have colors for everyone's skin,
Yeah.
and I make sure I have formulas for everyone's skin. So, what the foundation, the balm is, to me, it's a game changer for someone of a certain age. You put it on, you're like, I don't look like I'm wearing makeup, but I look better. Like, why? But if you have oily skin, you've got to put a powder, or if you don't like the shine, I like the shine. I like messy hair and a shiny face. That's my thing.
Sounds like you.
I know. Well, I'm wearing the balm today, but
yeah.
I put powder over because I knew the lights
Right.
when we were
Yeah.
recording. But
Right.
typically I don't.
Yeah, I mean,
Exactly.
and also when you get older, oh my God, I'm so dry. It's like unbelievable. I
that's-
take oil sticks sometimes. in the
Really?
Yeah,
afternoon.
because
Yeah.
as you lose, the hormones.
Everything, yeah.
You lose
Right.
everything. That's for sure.
You lose everything, but you gain a lot.
Brains.
Yeah.
You gain the brain power.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hopefully.
I like
The
that.
experience. That's a good one.
And it is what it is. Like, don't feel bad, feel good, right? It's like, I don't want to, I don't call it aging. I call it living.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting older. That's a good thing.
That's fine. fine. The
Yeah,
alternative is
right,
terrible.
right.
But I love in the store were
Yeah.
the competent people. They were really terrific.
Right.
I mean, you know, they came up to you and were very encouraging.
Right.
Well, really, you know, a lot of stores you walk in
Right.
with the makeup, and
Yeah.
they, you know, if you don't know what you're asking for,
Right.
they don't help you at
Yeah.
all. It's, you know, it's for me that's a terrible problem.
And I have women of all certain age working
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, which
and
makes it good.
Yeah.
They are really very personable.
I feel like
That's
I'm
good.
not really scared of aging, and that might just be
'cause you're young.
because you're young. I'm young, and
'Cause you're
also
very young.
but, like looking at you, like all's good. Like I feel like, and my parents and my other sets of grandparents, like. But I'm sure that'll change at some
Well, it
point.
changes.
Well,
I'm
you
just like-
you freak out. I remember the first time I walked down the street in New York City in shorts and I saw my leg shake, and I was like, "What is that?" Like
More the physical than
yeah, that happens first, and it's like I like the lines around my eyes. That doesn't bother me, and I don't mind having this around my mouth.
I want to go through Bobbi Brown's makeup look recommendations for certain events and moments in
Right.
life. So, like on a first date, what do you think someone should wear for makeup?
Well, you certainly have to look calm and cool, and that you didn't try too hard.
Okay.
So the no makeup with something is good. You know, you don't want to show up with a smoky eye or a cat eye on your first date.
Okay.
So,
I agree with that.
yeah.
Yeah, you always say too much when you walk by my room.
Right.
Too much makeup. I don't
Yeah,
love it.
and especially when you're young, like I love the way people look without makeup. I do. I love the look, especially when you're young and natural. So I think, you know, a pencil to cover up spots unless you need, or a tinted moisturizer.
Right.
Touch of powder so you don't look greasy. Probably a bronzer just so you look healthy.
Yeah.
And then a little Miracle Balm,
Right.
mascara. And you don't need brows. Your brows
Yeah,
are perfect.
yeah,
So it
that's the one thing I
depends,
don't
you know.
really do.
Yeah, and certainly not a red lipstick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, isn't that funny? I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is funny.
Yeah.
Do you think confidence, though, closely relates to how much makeup you're wearing?
I do. And do you know what confidence is?
No.
tell us.
It's actually, once you realize what it is, it just means being comfortable in your skin with who you are. And that's, you're not supposed to feel that at your age, right? I didn't feel it at that age. And, you know,
We're going back to the word authentic.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's 2 days in a row we're talking
Yeah.
about
She
Yeah.
loves
authentic.
authentic, organic.
Well, yeah, being yourself.
Yeah,
And it's
be
like, not
yourself.
everyone's going to like you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Who cares? Yeah.
So no red lips. What lip product should we be
I'd say
wearing?
a lip balm.
Okay.
Or a touch of gloss. And I'm saying a touch of gloss because nothing's worse than seeing like an
Slippery
over, yeah.
Yeah.
Slippery
Yeah.
lips, especially if
But
you're
I
going to
feel like
dive
it
in
looks
for a
nice.
kiss.
No, or it's
Well,
on your glass or something.
Yeah,
you
right.
know.
Oh yeah, I always
Yeah.
notice that when it's like you take a sip and you're
Right.
like, oh, I hope they
That's
don't
ugly.
Yeah.
find that disgusting.
Right.
I
So
don't think boys know to look at that.
no, but you know, they might. But
Yeah.
and also like if you don't have makeup, just do this. Pinch your cheeks. And we have a new balm called Pinched Cheeks.
Yeah, that's what I'm wearing today.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, and it works. Pinching your cheeks actually works.
Yeah,
and
it,
biting
you
on-
can kinda tell.
and biting your lips works too. And that's
that's
the
interesting.
and that's the color lipstick I like to buy. Like if you go in and have
Like
no
a
lipstick on,
nude.
bite your lips and say, "I want this color."
Yeah,
Because then you
you're
don't look like
natural.
because then you don't look like beige,
Right.
right?
Yeah, that's a good tip. Would you say the same thing for meeting the parents for the first time?
Yes, yes.
Natural.
Less
Natural,
makeup.
less.
Less makeup.
And also finding clothes. Don't try to be too sexy. Just try to be comfortable. Like I want something I don't have to, pull. Like I won't wear button downs because I have a nice chest, and they always seem to pull on
Right.
me. So I'll just wear a t-shirt and a sweater without buttons, so I don't have to think about it, and nothing too tight, so I don't have to worry if my stomach's sticking out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes you
Oh,
more
good idea.
comfortable.
Yeah, I just whatever makes you comfortable. Yeah.
What about wedding makeup?
Well, then you can have more fun. So you do the no makeup, and then you could smoky eye. You could
Right.
do a cat eye.
Right.
I'm a big shimmer guy, so I love playing with shimmer. And I usually do brown eyeliner, but for weddings I'll do black. So it's not I don't do my whole eye because then I look like I've tried too hard, and then my eyes look like they disappear because they're deep set.
It's very funny because the only time I ever had a professional, because every time we go on a shoot, I say I'll do my own
Right.
makeup. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. But the only time, I'm very charming that way.
Yeah.
But the only time I really wanted to have my
Right.
eyes done, I had a person come up to the apartment, it was for your mom's wedding.
Yeah.
And we both sat down in my kitchen in Manhattan, and we had the lady come up,
Right.
and she did the makeup. I walked out, and my father, now he's long gone, came over to look, because he was like he was in the fashion business,
Right.
and I always relied on his taste. He said, "You both look like hookers. Go wash your face off." So that was the end of doing it. We went and we did our own makeup the day of the wedding.
Yeah.
I said to
So
my
this was a
daughter-
makeup test, at
It
least.
was a makeup
Okay.
test. Oh, I wasn't.
Oh, it
gonna
wasn't the
walk
day
out.
of.
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
no, I would never do
Right.
that. I was
Right.
too much of a control freak in those days. But I laugh about it all the time. I think she had purple and she had all the
Oh, my
colors.
God.
Well,
And
it's the
it was
80s.
nothing. And I was thinking, well, it was the 80s.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, my father's always right. And if I'm going to look like this in a picture,
Right.
and I'm going to look at the picture 10
Right.
years from now, I'm going to really be upset. So we washed the makeup off and we did it the way we
Yeah.
normally
But you know the photo of you in the album that like I always look at. I don't know if that was mom's wedding or my uncle's wedding, but it definitely does not look like you did that makeup.
I think I never had the makeup done ever again. So maybe I applied a little bit.
Yeah,
more.
maybe you just did
Maybe
more.
I just.
It
put
was
a
not
little
your
more.
normal. Like you definitely did more than you should.
I got fired once as a makeup artist.
You did?
I did my niece's bat mitzvah, and she fired me. She started crying, like the morning of her bat mitzvah. She started crying when she looked in the mirror, and I was not even done. She wanted like red eyeshadow,
Yeah,
and I was
wanted it
like,
way out.
yeah. And I'm like, Sydney, I'm not done yet.
Yeah.
And she cried, and then
She had to hire the lady that I used.
no, worse. So my sister came in. I'm like, Linda, I don't care. I'm going home. I'm taking a shower. I don't
Right.
care. She took her to Makeup Forever. She fired Bobbi Brown and went to Makeup
Right,
Forever.
wow.
Whatever.
That's
Wow.
really whatever.
Did
What
you ever
she
know that about Sydney? Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wait, did you ever have like a crazy experience as a makeup artist? Like just-
Many.
Yeah, besides that,
Oh.
like not family members.
Oh, many.
Yeah.
Let's see. I've done Whitney Houston's makeup.
Wow.
I've done Faye Dunaway's makeup. You know, Faye was crazy.
Yeah.
Faye was crazy. And she tried, after she was impossible, and she tried to book me again. Whitney Houston, too, was really tough, and she tried to book me again.
Like
I
telling
was
you
like,
what to do.
Tell me what to do, what not to do. And it's like, okay.
And
Yeah.
there's no point in them hiring.
No. And I once did Melania's makeup. Melania
Yeah.
Trump. Before
Yeah.
she was Melania, she was dating someone named Donald.
Okay.
He came over, he was watching me do her makeup, and he kept telling me what to do. And
No.
I remember I handed him the brush. I said, "Do you want to take over?"
That's
no, go
iconic.
ahead. Yeah.
That's so funny. Well, we were talking about family a little bit. I know you're very close with your father. He's 89.
89.
So, what has been the best advice you think he's given you?
He's given me so much advice, find your passion. And, my dad stopped punishing me when I got bad grades in school because he said, oh, she'll probably never be anything except a mother or a teacher. And guess what? He's right. I'm both. I'm a mother and a teacher. So, but, he's really proud of me. But it's just about to use your creativity.
We met your dad.
Yeah.
On the opening night. He's a very handsome
He is.
man.
He is very handsome, and he's been looking for, a love because his wife passed away, but he doesn't understand that he's 89.
And why should he?
But he wants like a 70-year-old or a 60-something-year-old. I'm like,
Get it. Does he drive at night?
he does, and I don't want him to.
Oh, because
I-
that's all you
he
need
does.
down here in Florida.
Right, oh.
If you drive at night, you
Oh
can
yeah.
get anybody he
Oh no,
wants.
he drives at night, and I'm, I just think there's a time where you call Uber.
Is 60 crazy for 80 though? Like at least you're not saying 30-year-old.
Is six? Well, I'm 67.
Oh, right, you want someone
right?
older than
I
you.
want
Yeah,
someone
usually
old.
they
He was
don't.
21 when I was born, so I would, I personally couldn't imagine going out with someone in their 80s.
Right.
If my husband decided he was done with me, I think I would go for a younger surfer and not an older
I want
guy.
to be a cool girl. So.
Yeah, whatever,
What about your grandparents? You were close with them.
Really close.
well.
Nana and Papa Sam. Nana never worked. She stayed home. She was all of 4'8.5". Maybe she was 4'10" once. So I thought I was tall growing up. I'm 5 feet.
Yeah.
And my Papa Sam came over from Russia and worked his way up to being a car dealer in Chicago. He was on TV, he sold cars to like all the, mafia there. He was very well known. And he was really my role model as a business person because he would come home and talk about his day. Nana would have dinner for him, and then we'd be stuffing his marketing envelopes. and
wow.
stamping them to send out. So
But that's the way
Yeah.
a family
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
in those days, and still does in many cases.
Yeah.
You know, the family has to stand behind whoever's doing the work.
Yeah, like
Both
all
pe-
support and get involved.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very. I mean, you know, you see that with your grandpa, so proud of you, and he's running around talking about it to every one of
Yeah.
his old friends and who don't even care.
right.
but that's
Right.
that's what makes a good family unit.
It is. I
And
mean,
it's important.
Our
It's
our
important.
son, one of our sons runs Jones Road.
And
So,
that's-
and
so
his
that's-
wife, who is the mother
Your
of my grandchild, is my head of brand.
Oh, I didn't know
Oh,
that.
yeah.
So it's really family business.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
wonderful.
It didn't start out that way,
Yeah.
but they were the best people for the job because I hired people that weren't right, and they just were.
Yeah.
And they understand your vision.
They understand my
See,
vision.
That's very important.
Yeah, it is. It's really important. I trust them, but you know, there's some,
All right.
there's some
Family dynamics.
family dynamics, which I'm learning how to.
Manage.
Well, the same thing as being part of a corporation and working with all these men all the years. The same thing as having a successful marriage. It's like, okay, let me figure out how I could be nice and get what I want.
Right. Exactly.
I never really think about that. I feel like I'm just like, I mean, we work together and you're not a man, so it's different. But I just like yell at you and then.
And I yell at you.
And
But
then-
the
yeah.
thing is, we know how to push each other's buttons. We know exactly what we're
Totally.
Totally.
But
So
I want-
that's
yeah.
a different relationship.
Yeah.
And it's also a grandmother and a granddaughter. And I know that you're the boss. So I don't have any
Right.
problem with that.
But I haven't navigated like working. I mean, at my old job, like obviously there were men there, but it was predominantly women. And then now, even when I'm like on calls with brands, it's mostly women. Like
It's interesting.
Yeah, my agents are men, but that's really it. So-
Yeah, and
Okay.
I'm the opposite because I have 3 sons.
Right.
I have 4 nephews I'm really close with. So I'm a guy person for sure.
Interesting.
Well, you are too. We got to get the guy.
Like, sure. I want to end the episode with a game of Grandma Gail's old-fashioned dating quiz that we do with all of our guests. So we'll run through some hypotheticals and then deem whether you are more of an old-fashioned dater or modern dater. Number 1 is, would you rather receive a call or a text from your partner if it's just to say hi?
Call.
Would you sleep with someone on the first date?
I have
Dating apps or setups?
both
Okay.
if I needed.
Okay.
I
I'm the same.
tell people is if you're looking for a new job, that's how much energy you have to put into finding your mate.
Totally. Look everywhere. Exhaust
everywhere. Be
ask
open.
everyone.
Right.
Yeah. Agreed. Would you move in together before getting engaged or wait?
No, I wouldn't the second time. I did it the first time and it didn't work, and the second time I didn't and I got engaged.
So you would. So
Not.
no.
I would say not.
Okay.
He's on my
Yeah.
side.
Who should pay for the date? Should it be one person in a relationship or like alternate, split?
I'd say split, alternate or split.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're half and half.
She's half and half.
Yeah.
She's half.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Kind of. I'm like that too.
Yeah.
Okay. So a little bit of both. Bobbi, thank you so much for
Oh,
joining us
You've been-
today.
And you're an inspiration to women.
Oh, thank
It's
you.
true. Really, not only on a business level, but that you also were fabulous with your husband and your children.
Yes.
To me, that's the sign of a successful woman.
And
So-
one day, my granddaughter Lily, who's 19 months, is going to say, "Excuse my grandma."
Yeah.
I know it.
That's true.
I apologize. I apologize for her.
I love that. Thank you,
All right,
Bob.
thank you, guys.